Milligan.
And I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland Navigation Radio.
where we return to the dazzling images on a huge silver screen. Except they're not on a silver screen, they're on a ride. Because we're going to talk about, if you can decipher that at all, we're going to talk about which movies we think would be viable contenders for theme park attraction adaptations.
Yeah. Disney does this a lot, where they'll take like a scene or an entire movie and shove it into a ride.
Yes, it's almost every ride these days.
Yes.
Is some type of movie, something.
And I know that for me, as a Disney parks enthusiast, now when I go see a movie, I'm thinking, that would be a good ride.
What land is this going to be in?
Right. Or I would love to, you know what I mean? Especially
they should knock down the Mexico ride and put this in there.
Yeah, especially if it's something that feels roller coastery. I'm like, I want to ride that ride. That doesn't exist.
When Lilo and Stitch came out, there was a song called Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, they should do a Hawaiian themed roller coaster where you're like,
no brainer,
going through the palm leaves and into the beach and all that.
But instead, they did Stitch's Great Escape.
Right. That is one of the more questionable entries into the movie into attraction pipeline.
I agree.
It definitely shows what can go askew when you're kind of adapting a property into an attraction.
Yeah, it's so funny because they've got so many movies, so many classic animated movies, and then some of the choices were like, why did you do that?
Imaginative.
Why did you do Bug's Life?
The Bug's Life one I've got no answers for. But when it came to Stitch's Great Escape, I think they just saw that Alien Encounter was an extremely divisive attraction that got them more guest feedback comments than any other attraction in the park.
Right.
And so
they're like, we've got a cartoon alien.
They had a movie to promote. They had a ride that needed to change. Bing, bam, magic happens. Mm-hmm. Very much like how we were just talking in the last episode about how Michael Eisner saw an opportunity to promote the movie Dinosaur, and he saw Countdown to Extinction, a property-less attraction in Animal Kingdom. He put 2 and 2 together, and now we've got what we've got now in all of its 90s promotional glory.
Yeah. Well, I'm fine with that one because it works.
Oh yes, it got so weird, but I love that ride.
Yes,
I love that ride to pieces.
Yes, I do too.
All right. So now that we've kind of talked about the gamut of things, we really haven't, because there's another end to the spectrum, which is when they do it well. Yeah. You know, when they successfully turn one of these beloved movie franchises into something that encapsulates the experience in the theme park form.
Right.
Take, for example, Flight of Passage.
Yes.
Something that not only encaptures the feeling of the movie, but also translates it into something that will make you a fan of the franchise, even if you didn't like the movie.
Yeah. We don't like that movie.
We don't care one rat about Avatar. The Way of Who, not my water. But Flight of Passage.
But you know why I went to see it?
Why?
Because I love Flight of Passage.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That's the power of this. That's what that can be. So it's a big scale. Scale.
Flight of Passage transports you into the movie. So that's a whole thing. That's probably the goal, right?
Yeah, to make you see it from like a whole new in-depth perspective.
Yeah, even Star Tours to some extent.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I mean, talk about Rise of the Resistance.
Right.
You are in Star Wars.
Right.
So thoroughly, in a multi-step kind of way.
And then some of the animated movies have their, like, we're going to tell you the whole movie in 2 minutes in a ride form, which I know you don't always love.
Right. Those can be a little hit or miss for me. Not because of the artistry that's in the details of the ride and stuff, but I have a certain desire for a story to be what's told with a clear beginning, middle, and an end, um, pacing that makes sense for the feeling of the property that we're talking about.
Right.
And sometimes I feel like it's just really hard to cram that all
It
into
is.
such a short amount of time without it coming off a little bit like, have you seen The Little Mermaid? Now on DVD, Disney DVD for you to buy. You know what I mean? It's a
It's
little bit greatest
it's
hits.
very it is. It's like it's the length of a trailer. So that's kind of what it is. You know what I
Right.
mean?
It
Except for
is. It's a
it is
trailer.
trying to tell the whole story. So
A hot
I
take,
like The Little
yeah.
Mermaid because for me, I already know the story. I
Mhm.
don't need to learn the story again. I'm not even thinking about the story. I'm there for the music, and that's
Yes.
what you get in The Little Mermaid.
And some, I mean, to that ride's credit, they do a good job of kind of trying to
Walking you
immerse
through.
you in the story as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you
you
feel
go
like part of her
you
world?
yeah, I
You
do. Yeah,
do?
they tip you back like you're going
Under the
underwater.
sea.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah.
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 Um, okay, so the now we've got some good background.
But you think they did Frozen pretty well, right?
I do. I think that was an interesting take where they went above and beyond for the storytelling and they made it this festival where they were celebrating the return of summer, which is the conclusion of the first movie. So, in order to celebrate, we're going to visit Elsa in her ice palace, and basically it's this weird thing where the journey that you're going on in the story of the ride parallels but does not copy the journey of the movie. So you're still on a journey to see Elsa in the Ice
Yeah.
Palace, but you're not on an
They're not
adventure to see her
right.
sister.
They're not telling you the story of the movie.
Right, it's just a little, but like the beats are
That might be better.
similar,
Yeah.
and the climax is still there. The Let It Go sequence plays out with just as much fanfare.
Right.
It's just they're not trying to summarize
Which doesn't make sense, does it, or does it?
Well, you're going to see I mean, it's like a musical number where you're going to see Elsa and she's putting on a little show for you.
Oh.
So, like, I think the concept of it is even like maybe more thought out than you could even put a finger on, which opposed to, I hate to keep coming back to the Little Mermaid ride because I know that you like it.
Yeah, well.
It's just, I feel like that one, they just try to cram it all in and it gets really like uneven and sloppy.
No,
Like,
I understand what you're saying. It's just not what I'm not looking for it to make sense.
This is a me problem.
Well,
or someone who just like pays too much attention to like form and concept and detail of that, like,
yeah, I'm just not
level.
looking for the story because I already know the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, and my problem with it, I know the story too, and I expect that story to be like, I want it done justice in all the big artistic ways.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
and I don't even think of it as a story. I think of it as their best musical numbers.
It's like a tour of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's a tour of the soundtrack.
Yeah, it is really, but like that is a killer soundtrack. If you're gonna pick a
is.
movie to like base the soundtrack off of it, I get the inclination toward The Little Mermaid.
Right.
Talk about a score that endures.
Right.
I mean, we're singing those songs now like they're brand new, and they're about to be again.
Yeah,
because
true.
you know they're gonna redo all.
Assuming they do the songs the same.
Right.
Do we know?
Yes, I've heard they're keeping the songs and adding new songs by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Great.
Of course. Of course. All right. Do you want to dive in here? No Little Mermaid pun intended.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I went first last time. On our last episode, this is part 2 of
on
our
our last
episode.
You pointed out that I almost always go first, so you can go first again.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, listen, I'm down.
Okay.
This is one that we have discussed before, briefly on the podcast, but more in depth in person. Well, we're still in person, but off air. Which is the desperate need for Encanto in the theme parks. There are a lot of ways that could go. I could totally see an Isabella kind of led thing that's floral based going on. But my idea for what I would like to see Encanto translated into in the park is I would like Antonio,
right,
who is the child who can speak to animals in the film. I would like for his room to come to life underneath the tree of life in the animal kingdom.
Right.
So, in the film, Antonio's room in the magical casita they live in is this beautiful foresty, jungly environment with all of these wild animals that exist in harmony that he can communicate with. And I think an entertainment offering, a dining experience, an immersive dining experience, or something to that effect would really speak to a current generation of park goers
Yeah.
in Animal Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A park that I think sometimes needs a little bit more for kids to hold on to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because as they are going through beautiful, culturally authentic,
You're right.
photorealistic Asia, they might be thinking to themselves, I don't give a hoot. Where is
Yeah. You're right.
Mickey
You're right.
Mouse? You know? And I
Animal
love
Kingdom
that
does
about
seem a little bit more adult, older child oriented.
it's for the grown people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I love that about Animal Kingdom as someone who gets to visit
Yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
But as a tourist who thinks Animal Kingdom is a half-day park already,
Right.
they
Or a
might
zoo.
or a zoo, they might visit and think to themselves, the kids might think to themselves, I'm at the zoo. You know,
Right.
they don't see it's not like Magic Kingdom where when you walk in, there's already characters all around you, and they're trying to do that a little bit with like the addition of Kevin walking around in little ways, but I think they need something major. So I think Encanto is a good fit for in there. I think the message still needs to be about conservation. So I think whether it's a show or whatever the situation is, I think the message of the attraction or experience would need to be Antonio and his friends who he can communicate with. He's speaking for them to say all at once in their voice, nature needs to be protected and respected.
Yeah, right. I think this is, like we've said, something that could take the place of Bug's Life in a wonderful way. To be in the right area.
Please.
Bug's Life isn't a good ride, and yeah.
It needs
Here's my
so much
question.
help. Yeah.
Is there any way, with it being Antonio's and it being the animals, which totally makes sense for Animal Kingdom, but is there any way to work in the "We Don't Talk About Bruno" song?
Oh, of course.
It feels like with Frozen, even though it's a different story, they could not put "Let It Go" in the Frozen
Right.
ride. This feels the same.
Yes.
That song needs to be in there.
And I think there could be some storytelling there where Antonio
Tells the story
What?
to the animals.
Yeah,
and us.
or even an animal band, an authentic Colombian band, except they're all animals, and these would be puppets or animatronics or something.
Okay.
Could, maybe sing the songs from the legend of Antonio's family or something. Or even if Antonio just brings the villagers along in the journey to sing the chorus of the hits from the movie. I think one way or another, it is unfortunate when there is a park offering based on a franchise and it doesn't utilize that franchise or its property to its full potential. And I think what people took away from Encanto were the songs, and We Can't Talk About Bruno was major. So I think that it is like a necessity for that to be in the DNA of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just think that necessity.
It'd be a good candidate for a parade too. An Encanto parade through Animal Kingdom would maybe make a lot of sense because Isabella, the flowers are very natural.
Mm.
The casita is very colorful and textural in the way that a lot of Animal Kingdom buildings are.
Right.
And Antonio with a tree float with animal puppets.
Do they have room for a parade?
Animal
or
Kingdom,
only a floating parade?
What is a floating parade?
Well, not a floating parade, but they do the floating.
Right.
Character
Rivers of Light. Animal Kingdom used to have a parade.
That's what I thought, but I can't imagine where. Now that I'm in my head walking through Animal Kingdom, I don't see where there's even room.
I believe it went through Discovery Island.
Okay.
Yeah. It was all around the Tree of Life, the entrance plaza. Pizza Safari, that whole area, that there was a parade through there.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Just doesn't seem very wide.
No. I don't remember going to the parade, but I've seen pictures of the parade going through
They
there.
did a parade in World Showcase in Epcot like a long time ago, and it's just, isn't it hard to imagine?
Yes.
You can barely walk through there
the
now.
Tapestry of Nations, right?
Yes, they need to add a few lanes
Yeah.
to that highway.
I do remember watching that in Epcot as a kid.
Oh,
and
do you?
It
I don't have
was
memory of it.
Traffic nightmare.
Yeah.
That was where you got stuck.
I can't even imagine. Like, I can't.
Well, it's like
you
being in
can't even walk.
Frontierland. It's like being in Frontierland for the parade and how it's a nightmare. You
Yeah,
know?
but Frontierland seems wider.
Yeah.
I don't know.
World Showcase, it gets pretty narrow at times. But hey, do you remember the double-decker bus?
Yes.
From Epcot?
Yes.
They used to have characters on it.
Uh-huh.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing I don't know if a lot of people remember.
Yeah.
Should we talk about when Barbie was in Epcot?
I don't remember Barbie being in Epcot, but you've told me. If you were to say, where do you think Barbie used to be? I would have imagined it was MGM.
I feel
because all the weird characters that we don't even really associate with Disney, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, were back there. Who else?
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura. I have a picture with Ace Ventura.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Makes no sense,
Yeah.
but I love it.
But that was all in MGM.
Right. Yeah.
Barbie in Epcot? Why was Barbie in Epcot?
Barbie was celebrating. It was her birthday bash or something. And she had a show. It was the very first show in the American Gardens Theater.
This still feels like it should have been in MGM. Just saying.
Yes, it is very show busy.
Was it before MGM was even open?
I want to say the late 90s, so it probably.
Okay.
MGM was probably open.
Okay.
As far as the experience,
when did American Gardens Theater open?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I wish I had a date for you. I don't.
Yeah, that's okay. Go on. Tell me about Barbie.
Barbie had a show at Epcot. It was she drove up in her pink limo. She got out and she did a musical. It seems very relevant now that and also they took.
This happened in 1994.
Oh, isn't that when did Hollywood Studios open?
I'm gonna look so that I don't say. Well, it wasn't called Hollywood Studios, so I wonder if I'm gonna get the right.
Oh, I'm sure you will. People know what's going on.
89.
Oh, that's right. It opened in 89.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to say it.
Right. Okay, cool. But yeah, so Barbie would have this like musical number, and they filmed it, and they put it out as a VHS.
Yeah, wild.
Barbie's birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty funny.
Yeah, I didn't know about this.
Wacky. It just seems relevant with the Barbie movie trailer dropping.
It just doesn't make sense to me for Epcot, but whatever. It's whatever.
It is probably one of the more strange injections of intellectual property into the parks, especially when you consider the fact that Barbie is not a Disney-owned property. Was
it?
No.
Then why was she there? She hijacked Epcot.
Barbie's got Epcot by the throat. You know?
Yeah.
Morgan's looking at pictures right now.
It's wild.
She's seeing images of the stretch limousine in pink that carried Barbie to the show location.
Wow.
She's seeing the cover of the VHS. It was only 1 cent.
It says 1 cent like it was in the 19...
yeah. Back in my day,
yeah.
We could watch a movie for a nickel. Well, I got the Barbie birthday party at Epcot VHS for 1 single penny.
Oh my gosh.
I would get a Barbie at Epcot tattoo.
So this limo drove around World Showcase? That seems dangerous.
That used to be Mickey Mouse's limo. It used to be a red, black, and white limo.
Oh my gosh.
And then when Barbie arrived, they sure did paint it pink. Hot pink, Barbie pink, to kind of escort her to her.
This is shocking. This is shocking to me. Oh. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it's really surprising, but it's a cool little nugget of Epcot history that will probably end up being a TikTok for us.
Is the new Barbie movie Disney? Yeah.
The new Barbie movie is not Disney.
Okay. All right. Well, that was weird information that has nothing to do with our topic?
In fact, it does,
Oh,
because
good.
it is
Because you think Barbie should have a ride?
yeah, Barbie was an intellectual property. Well, no, I don't think she should have a ride, but she was an intellectual property that got put into the park that got turned into a movie. So it's a triple. It's a three-parter.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
That's complicated.
But I've only done one. I've only done my Encanto thing. So tell me, what movie do you want to see represented in the park?
So since we're in Epcot, because we're talking about Barbie,
and we are always. I've got my park.
And we've talked about this before on the podcast, but I think that Coco should be in Mexico.
Hey,
I went there.
Remember me.
It's a great movie with a great soundtrack.
Yes,
and I think that at minimum you could do a dark ride, take the Mexico boat ride and turn it into Coco themed. Minimum. If you wanted to just put a new Coco ride somewhere else, I think that there's a lot that could be done.
Beyond Thunder Mountain.
Yeah. I didn't mean a lot of places you could go though. I mean, like, you could do some sort of flight with Dante. Yeah, or
with a different spirit animal every time or something.
Oh, maybe.
That'd
Maybe
be
you get
cool.
you get assigned a spirit animal.
I could totally see them flying through. I'm picturing like a flight of passage situation for some person, but like they're flying around the city of the dead with all those lights, those beautiful lights,
and the bridge.
Yes, the bridge of flowers.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be gorgeous.
Yeah,
but like if they were to just do the Mexico rehab,
that'd be fine.
Ride situation,
I'd be fine with this.
They wouldn't even have to change the end of the ride like at all,
right?
Because it's already skeletons in Mexico in a town. They would just have to take out Donald and his friends.
Well, I would hope that they would do a lot more than that because the ride needs some updating throughout. But you're right. I think the bones of it.
Oh my gosh! But at the end, if they did that, the music is my language.
Yes.
At the end, like all of them in the performance space, that would be. I mean, it just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
Just swap out the Caballero flags for the Coco flags,
right?
Because the flags are a huge part of Coco to begin with,
right? And I think there's already I could be wrong, but I think in the ride there's already a little Dia de Muertos shrine, right?
To Donald.
Oh gosh.
Right. Why? I don't know. He's dead.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I'm just reporting the news. You know, I'm just telling you the facts.
All right.
Did
you do a lot of these?
I did 3.
Okay. So your answers are going to be so detailed. Maybe I should do 2 for every 3.
No. Okay, sure. Do you have that many?
Yes, kind of, but I'm not even going to talk about one because you're going to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. Maybe. If you don't talk about it, I'll throw in it.
Drop one.
Okay. I think that doing something Hamilton and Liberty Town Square would be cool. What a weird. I'm not like you thought I was going to talk about all animated stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I'm throwing in a Broadway musical that happens to be kind of owned by Disney. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and Lin-Manuel Miranda is obviously a
in
Disney.
Their pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think Liberty Square is a bit boring aside from
retweet.
aside from Haunted Mansion, which makes no sense.
You know what made it so much better? When they had Muppets up there.
Yes.
The fact that they took the Muppets out of Liberty Square, I am fed up.
Yeah.
With Walt Disney World. I am going to let them have it.
Yeah.
They took my puppets away.
Yeah. I know.
That's messed up.
They were my favorite
part of going into Liberty Square.
Yes.
I love the Haunted Mansion, but I love the Muppets more.
Yeah.
So when Muppets Haunted Mansion came out, I was delighted.
Yeah. I would rather... they could make something new over there.
Yes.
Or I would rather go see like a couple of numbers or like the best of Hamilton as opposed to the Hall of Presidents at this point. Because that has gotten... regardless of what side you're on, we don't need the political confrontation in Disney World. That's not why you're there.
It is
Let's
a little
leave it
bit
at the
of
door.
like a fire starter in there right now.
Right.
I also think that would be good. I wonder if Disney would have reservations about approaching an adaptation of something that is so adult in its original form.
I don't think so, because they're doing Marvel, which has got all of like the cuss words and stuff, and that's the worst that Hamilton really has, right? I mean, I guess Talk of an Affair,
Yes.
but like Jake and I used to teach drama to little kids.
Can
Oh,
you believe
can
it?
you believe this? A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, and those little kids were Hamilton obsessed.
Oh,
So
you're
I
right.
mean, their
Quack, quack.
parents didn't care. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I'm not sure that if you picked the right songs.
And they don't even have to do the story of Hamilton.
No, I'm talking about like a sampler.
Rise Up, a Hamilton celebration.
Yes.
Right. And
exactly.
all they're doing is like, history is in our hands, and then they just do numbers from the show.
I would love that. I would really love that. It would be a good show.
Yeah.
They
Think
could like
Festival
mix it
of
up.
the Lion King. They
Yeah.
don't tell the story of the Lion King. They're just celebrating it.
Exactly.
This is a good idea.
Thank you.
This is very smart. I
Thank
would
you.
love to see this.
Yeah, I would too. It would be a show like Magic Kingdom, lacking in shows.
Yes, they had
Live.
these plans a bit ago to add a theater to Main Street.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
No.
It was like a canceled
Maybe.
concept. Similar to how some of this Epcot stuff is getting canceled
Right.
now. It was like an addition to Main Street.
Budget canceled.
Yes. And they were going to build a full-size, just classic proscenium arch theater. Just for theater shows.
Where?
I don't know geographically where on Main Street, but it was an extension of Main Street.
Okay.
Which, number one, interesting that there's just room lying around for that.
I can't even.
Maybe they're gonna knock something down.
Oh.
But either way, I'm a little bit sad at the loss of opportunity for more live performance in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
There's practically none.
There is practically none.
There's Enchanted Tales with Belle.
Okay. Yeah. And then there's the Diamond.
Right. Horseshoe.
I haven't been in there, so I don't know how. I don't know.
People perform to some capacity.
Okay.
You know. You get most of your live performance at the Castle Show, the Welcome Show, and there's something else they do. Parades.
Well, yeah.
Sure. But that's a little different. So I would have loved a theater in there, but yeah, I think it makes sense.
I do too. I just the president's. This is just not the time.
It's doing edutainment at its core because it's a captivating, interesting, entertaining, modern property, but it's teaching you about political awareness, about
it's actually
our actual
teaching you
history.
a lot about history. A lot of the kids that we taught actually knew a bunch of the dates that had to do because they're in the songs.
Right.
They knew the names of the leaders of this time and stuff like that, and about the they would no way were they going to know that.
Every history teacher must have been floating on air in 2015.
Yeah.
When it all of a sudden became incredibly cool to know everything about the election of 1800.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
You're right.
Yeah. They really did that. Thanks, Lynn. All right. You want me to hit you with one?
I do.
Okay. It's called Moana. The Voyage of the Wayfinder or something. Okay. Moana's.
Wait, so it's a boat ride?
Oh, that's what you think, huh? I don't know. I don't remember. I gotta read it. But Moana, in the movie, she goes on this journey to learn how to sail with Maui, and she becomes a master wayfinder, which I think is a really interesting jumping off point because Moana, I feel like in her community back on Montanui, is all about now being a community leader. So she's got to teach you how to be a wayfinder. Naturally. You know what I mean?
Right.
This says boat ride, so I'm thinking you're right. But this is a boat ride. So boat ride retelling the story of how Moana became the master wayfinder. There we go. But my vision for this is it's like Pirates of the Caribbean in Shanghai, which is different from ours because it has wall-to-wall massive screens in the rooms. Okay. So the thing that works so well in Pirates Shanghai is that the water is still in the ride, and you can't tell where the water ends and where the screen begins.
Very cool.
So half of the screen is this seamless water, and then there's a huge pirate ship or something that comes sailing by you. And it's a really convincing effect because you absolutely cannot tell at some points where the screens are.
Yeah, cool.
Which is cool
Yeah.
and very like big scale. So it would be really cool for that to be a Moana applied thing because, first of all, a lot of the classic story beats of boat rides are wrapped into the story already.
Mm-hmm.
So you start on the island, Moana is going out on this journey, there's an animatronic of her singing her How Far I'll Go song or whatever.
Right.
And then you meet up with Maui and you've got to confront Tamatoa, which would be a really cool ride scene because you could have the entire room be bioluminescent, spinning disco ball. Think of big Tamatoa and the drop is like going underneath him or something. That would be really cool at the end of Shiny. That would be nice. And then, of course, you have to confront Te-Fiti, which, if this were a big budget and blue sky, would be, of course, a huge animatronic like the Yeti from Expedition Everest. But if not, then it would be like Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and be some huge wraparound screen where there's some interesting projection technology that has to happen to turn her from the fire creature into the green Te-Fiti that we know and love. So that would be cool to see however they work that out. Even if Te-Fiti is like a huge static object, but they project on her to be animated almost like she's moving, that might be more convincing than a disco ball or whatever they've got going on over Expedition Everest. So, if they were going to do something big budget and, forgive the pun, splashy, then I think it would be cool. And then, of course, you've got to go through a waterfall that has a projection of the manta ray going up it to represent her grandma. It's got to have those heartfelt notes that grounded Moana so well for audiences in it. But I think that Moana and its adventure themes is a really good fit for a park adaptation because you can so easily step into the determination of the story.
Yeah. And amazing soundtrack.
Great songs.
So a spin on that for me is having a Moana themed water coaster that was in either one of the two water parks that Disney owns, which is Blizzard Beach. Don't know if it would fit there, or Typhoon Lagoon might fit there, but they already have a water coaster, or on one of the cruise ships.
Can you define for the audience what a water coaster is?
Yes. And to increase, a water coaster is where you're in a tube, but historically water slides or water rides, you're mostly going down and gravity is what is propelling you.
Right.
With a water coaster, they use jets to like sometimes push you up.
Fun.
And then you're going back down. So it simulates kind of the up and down and around kind of nature of a roller coaster, but you're in a tube on water.
Right.
So the jets are what move you, and you are legitimately going up a hill sometimes, which it used to not really be a thing.
Right.
In addition to that, newer water coasters on the newer Disney Cruise Line ships have screens around you.
Ooh, fancy.
So there's stuff happening like with you while you're going.
Right.
So I really think that this could be an interesting theme for a water coaster, like with Tamatoa, and then you could have the song, you know what I mean? The bioluminescence, because the screens are in a tube. So you're in a tube.
Right.
It's dark. They can kind of do whatever they want. Sometimes you go out, like the one that I have been on that was on the Disney Dream. You are in a tube and there's screens sometimes, and then you're out and in the sunshine sometimes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
cool.
I just think a Moana themed ride, but in a water park or on the boat would be good.
Makes so much sense. I mean, the movie, the whole identity of the movie is rooted in all that water.
Yes. And I think that having music be part of it, which isn't the one that I went on, and I've only been on one. There's one in Typhoon Lagoon. I don't know if there's any theming involved because Jake and I have not been to Typhoon Lagoon yet. We
No.
tried twice
Yes.
last year and got rained out both times we went. So
Shout out if you've ever been rained out of H2O Glow.
yeah.
I feel that it's kind of a select group of us, and we've all been through something together.
We went on the only 2 nights it was rained out last year.
That's why I'm saying we got to get t-shirts. I survived the H2O Glow rain out.
But I'm sad. We were so sad.
Oh, yeah. It is a pretty sad thing to happen because you're all just waiting around for hours and then they tell you
In
to
the
pack
rain.
up and go home.
Yeah, sorry.
And you're wet, but not in a fun way.
Not in a fun way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In a like, oh, I'm about to get hit by lightning.
Yeah,
type of
yeah.
way.
Oh, it was unfortunate. But so we tried, but we haven't gone. So I haven't been on Typhoon Lagoon's water coaster yet. And from what I've heard, the one on the Disney Wish, which is the new boat, is even better.
Ooh.
I sailed the Disney Wish in October, so hopefully I can let you know.
I am so jealous. I can't wait. I will be in your suitcase, bursting out in your stateroom and saying, I'm along for the ride. Don't worry, I've got my passport.
Awesome.
Where are you going?
I don't know because I don't care because I'm not leaving the boat.
I love that you don't even know.
I don't know and I don't.
What country are you going to be in?
Dude, I am paying so much money for this boat.
Yeah.
I can
trust me, I would be doing the same.
Yeah. If I were to sail on a different cruise line, I would care about the ports and getting off and exploring. But when I spend the money for a Disney cruise line, not cheap.
It's
even
a theme
if you're
park
a Florida resident.
on water.
Yes, I'm there for the boat.
Yeah, it's a theme park on water.
Disney Wish is only doing 4 and 3 night cruises.
Oh.
So they're pretty short too, which is just reinforces my, hey, I'm not leaving this boat.
Right. I'm going to get the most of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to see the shows at night. I want to explore the ship. I want to do that. Yeah, I'm not leaving the boat.
I want to float gleefully, doing my magical activities throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then come back. Getting off the boat is kind of for suckers. No, I'm just like if you want to get off the boat and visit the attractions that you're paying to go to, then I think that's great for somebody else.
Well, and if you're not from Florida, even more so, you might want to do that.
Yeah.
Like when we take a cruise somewhere else, we're gonna want to go see different places. But here, we have the luxury of being able to cruise cheaper than the rest of the states. And if I want to get off and go to ports, I'm just not gonna pay Disney cruise price. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be fair, I have gotten off at every port in the past. I've just never taken a Disney cruise.
Right.
It's
more expensive, but they also offer more.
Right. I think to feel like I was getting the most out of my vacation, I'd be real tempted to stay on the boat.
Yeah.
Real tempted to stay on the boat.
I think last time we did get off the boat for a few hours, but that was the max.
Get back on the boat. We gotta.
Well, there was a lot I wanted to do on the boat.
Yeah.
I've always got stuff going
Those
on.
itineraries are stacked.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, there's a lot to cram in.
Yeah.
To get your money's worth.
Is it your turn? Yes.
I've just did a whole Moana thing.
Oh, and then I kind of tacked on your Moana thing because that was something I was thinking of. But I'll go.
Okay.
So this is something I have been thinking about for like 20 years.
Oh.
You ready for this?
Oh, I can't. 20 years of thought.
Yeah. So in Monsters, Inc., which is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
There's the scene with the doors, and ever since the first time I saw that scene, I was like, roller coaster. This needs to be a roller coaster.
Yes.
I do enjoy the Monsters, Inc. ride that's in Disneyland. It's a dark ride. It just tells the story, like many other dark rides like we talked about earlier. But I think a Monsters, Inc. Doors roller coaster would be so fun. And this is one where when I'm watching that scene, I'm like, I want to do it. You know what I mean? They're holding onto the door. They're going up. They're going down. It's fast.
Yeah, a lot of people are with you on this one. I've seen.
Oh, really?
Yes, I've seen some commentary asking for the door roller coaster.
Oh, my people are out there.
From Monsters, Inc. Monsters, Inc. is a really interesting property for Disney. They treat it weird. Because, like, what do we have? Mike and Sully to the rescue over in Disneyland.
And then the laugh floor.
And then the laugh floor.
And then occasionally, I feel like in Tomorrowland, there's something.
Yeah, they walk around.
Yeah, or they do a dance show.
Right. And the Rocket Plaza.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is weird that they haven't been represented more. It's a pretty popular franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, except for there's so many things that haven't been represented literally at all that I'm like,
Mm.
well, at least they've got what they've got.
Yeah, they've got something.
Yeah, they're. I mean, have we brought up Hercules yet? It's on my list. It must be on your list, right?
It is not, if you can believe it, but it seems like it blows my mind.
Hercules is one of my favorite and Jake's favorite Disney movies of all time, and it's just shocking to me that there's literally nothing. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong, right?
No,
There's nothing.
it has a presence in Happily Ever After.
No, that doesn't count.
But like it
You
had
know
a
what I mean?
parade. It had a parade.
Okay, but it doesn't now.
But it doesn't now, and there's nothing.
They shove 50 different movies into Happily Ever After, so I can't. I just
No. Yeah. It's not a Hercules themed anything. And there is no Hercules themed anything.
right. And what a soundtrack, what a story.
Right. In my brain, this is so Broadway-y, that in my mind,
show.
it makes the most sense to do. On Disney Cruise Line, they had something called Hercules the Musical.
Oh yeah.
Which was a like Broadway-style musical told from
Unbelievable.
the perspective of the muses.
Uh-huh.
That makes a lot of sense as a theme park
That's gone,
something
though,
to me.
I assume.
Yeah, that's a retired one. So it would be really nice if they could, you know where that would be great? They should just stick it at the end of Sunset Boulevard and replace that Lightning McQueen thing.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, they got a whole space in there. Make it, you know what they could do? Hades Hellfire Club. Have Hades host a dinner party.
Well, that's a
or
bad
something.
word.
Oh, Hellfire? Oh, you're right.
But they haven't used it.
Pain and Panics.
Yeah.
Purgatory Review.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah, but to have some type of Hercules themed show.
Or a whole little section there, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wildly underrepresented in my. I would be fine with a dark ride that told the story too, because, like for me, The Little Mermaid. Part of what I love about Hercules is the soundtrack.
Yeah, I think it's probably my favorite of the '90s soundtracks. It's just got so much soul.
Yeah,
it's so big. The scale is massive. The strings go the distance. The horns, yes, it's very powerful. All the songs are very moving. It's quite good.
Yeah, all of the music. I mean,
every song is great.
Yeah.
Even the ones that people don't talk about as much, like "A Star Is Born," the finale of the show. I think it's such a great song.
Yeah,
people
I do
never
too.
talk about it.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, Hercules obviously needs some more presence in the
Oh, and I wrote on my list that we could also do a flight situation with Pegasus.
Yes,
where you're taking a tour, and that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or
even a musical tour,
an adventure. Ooh,
where like Pegasus flies you somewhere and then stops, and then you watch.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if that would
like
work, but a show or a dark ride or a flight, any of it.
Yeah,
I'd be happy with any of it.
Yeah,
I would really be happy with them putting Hercules in anywhere in any capacity, because I feel like
there's not even a meet and
what
greet.
happened. Yeah,
and people love it. I've got this Hercules.
Well, apparently
bag.
when it came out, it flopped.
Yeah,
but it's one of those ones like Hocus Pocus,
right?
Flopped, and now I mean we see it every Halloween.
Massive.
Yeah,
I've got this Hercules jacket that I wear, and every time I wear it, it's one of the only items of clothing, Disney-wise, like that I own, where people stop me and they go, "Hercules, oh, I love that movie."
Yeah.
People I don't know,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right, because it's underrepresented.
Everyone, goes so hard for Hercules.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the underrepresented franchises in the parks, and I think one of the ones that I would say it is number one on my list for something that I don't believe I can't believe there's no presence for it.
Yeah.
Number one is Hercules.
Right.
Yeah.
You could put something anywhere, really. Hold on. Maybe not Animal Kingdom.
That's always the tough one.
Yes.
So little makes sense for Animal Kingdom.
Right. Although they put Avatar. Okay, there's conservation. I'll back off. The other three, there's a spot for, because I mean it's set in Greece.
Right.
So there's
Greek pavilion.
Yep.
Nice. A good Greek quick service. Oh, that would be
great.
They sell gyros, dolmades, falafel.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
That would be nice.
Baklava.
Yeah, well, there's baklava in Morocco.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I just so there's Epcot, Magic Kingdom. I mean, it's just an animated movie, so it works there. And then Hollywood Studios, it's a movie, so it
Yeah.
works there.
They should turn Tom Sawyer's Island into Mount Olympus. There.
There you go. There you go.
Make the caves the underworld.
No.
Have a Hades meet and greet in
I
there.
thought about an underworld, like, but I think that that's probably
Too dark.
yeah,
Yeah. Save it for the villains park.
because it's literally hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Too much.
Yeah.
Souls crying out.
Nah.
Disney's not. They might have done it in the 90s.
Oh, you think?
Well, they had murder, alien encounter murder.
Right.
I mean, they were really trying to go wild. I think it would have been a discussion. But
Yeah.
nowadays, they really try to more appeal to the whole family in
Right.
everything they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's your turn now.
It doesn't matter. I'll
Just
do
go.
one.
Just
We've discussed this before. A tangled boat ride in Germany
oh yeah,
feels not far off.
Right.
There are boats in the movie. The lantern scene, where
Beautiful.
they're in a boat, just seems.
I'd love to experience that, like in some being
Yeah.
surrounded capacity.
Right.
Because just seeing it on screen is like, whoa.
It would have to be the finale, and you go
Yeah.
into this really, really big room that they've made to look like night, and the
Yeah.
stars are twinkling, and there are suspended
Actual
lanterns
ones.
that
Yeah.
go like up and,
And
down.
screens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and screens wrap around.
Just to give it
screens.
more depth.
Depth.
Yeah.
And like the tower would have to, or
Yeah.
something, it would have to be that kind of situation. And I think it could work really well. I also think it'd be cool, like the boat floats through the
story?
Snuggly Duckling
Oh, yeah.
Tavern.
Yeah.
And
Through the
the
story.
drop is you going down the tower in the beginning would be cool.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
she's got to go down the tower,
Yeah. I love
go
that.
through the woods, with Flynn Rider trying to avoid
Right?
the people after him
Yeah.
with Maximilian. Is that the name of the horse, Max?
Max, yeah.
Right? Okay,
Yeah.
yes. Pascal has to be up in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really, that would be that's like a starting level Imagineering project.
Yeah.
It's such an easy fit.
Easy. Mm-hmm. And they've got the room for it. So that's even a practical.
Oh, and this would have to go in that building where they were supposed to have a ride in Germany.
Yeah, right. So it's
Yeah.
there.
Right.
I have another dark ride.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't really even know. Maybe you could help me figure this one out. But another one that I feel like is underrepresented is the Aristocats.
Oh, yeah.
Another great soundtrack,
Right.
classic movie.
Mm-hmm.
Although I could say the same about Robin Hood, which came out around the same time. But,
Uh-huh.
both of those I feel like would be great to have some sort of something.
Yeah, it'd be cool for them to have small scale attractions, because I don't think Aristocats would maybe pull in major crowds, but
The as a theme, I do.
as a property, as an IP. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Cool.
I just think yeah, I do. But I see why you wouldn't. It's an older movie.
Yeah, I just think it's one of the ones that hasn't translated to the later generations as much.
I see a lot of kids with Marie shirts.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I wonder if they've seen the movie.
Yeah.
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 But it's undeniably a Disney classic with a great score. I think the fact that it is almost jazz themed
That's what I
lends itself really well to me wanting to say it would really work as like a show.
Yeah, or even if they took the Scat Cats Lounge that's in Port Orleans and actually made it into not
An immersive
because
type of thing.
the Scat Cat Lounge in Port Orleans is really just a bar with the name Scat. There's
Right.
not much that actually makes it
Yeah.
that.
They didn't do a Be Our Guest and transport
Right.
you into the movie.
Exactly.
It would be cool if they could.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
With even just having if they had like a jazz trio playing, but then also had screens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To kind of put you there.
Right. That would be awesome. Or even if they did a realistic immersive environment, and then had, either animatronic or projected or
Cats are
something.
probably hard.
Cats sound hard.
Like
Yeah.
I just
Ooh.
would worry they look creepy.
Puppets.
Nope. See?
Yeah, lots of choices there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think Aristocats. Hey, I love the art style of that movie too. It'd be cool to see them translate that
Yes.
into a real world environment.
Right.
A minor one that I have is I think I mourn the loss of a Mary Poppins attraction.
Yeah. Okay. That's for the one that I had on here that I knew you would. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you have an idea?
Well, I have the idea that you and I talked about that was probably your idea to begin with
I don't
about
remember.
entering the sugar bowl and the songs and maybe spinning teacups.
Oh, right. That's the one they had planned.
Oh, okay. What?
Yeah.
But did they have it? They had no. They had planned the spinning teacups like teacups, but not the show aspect of it.
Oh, that's right. We talked about a show where they like have the animated characters
Right.
involved in the show.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, that was
That was you.
that was what we talked about for like a show. If you could see it as a ride, could you see it as a ride? What do? You ride by the you grab onto an umbrella.
I see what you're saying. No, well,
Or is it Jolly Holiday? Is it the carousel horses that jump the track and go into the
wow, that would be. I can't even imagine how they would do that, but that
like
would be
Peter
cool.
Pan, like an overhead
Okay.
type of thing? It would have to be.
But Peter Pan, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It would have to have maybe a top and a bottom.
Yeah.
It would be futuristic, almost like the Harry Potter attraction at the Forbidden Journey at Universal, where you're kind of in that one you're kind of on a hydraulic mechanical arm, and it moves your ride vehicle around different sets of screens and physical attractions. Almost similar, a more technologically advanced version of Spider-Man, the Spider-Man ride at Islands of Adventure. If they could have an articulated arm that moved your horse up and down, side to side, maybe a little bit, and then each arm was controlled by the overhead, technology.
Wow.
That could be really interesting.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. But any Mary Poppins involvement would be much welcome because, it meant so much to Walt.
Yeah, absolutely. And they made a second one, so now it's appealing to a new generation.
Yes.
And I just think that obviously because of the music and everything, it spans.
Yes, generations.
Yes.
Everyone knows supercalifragilistic.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
No, yeah.
I also think they gave the wrong person a really cool half show, half meet and greet. They gave it to Belle. They should have given it to Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
You walk in to Cherry Tree Lane, their house. The cannon's going off next door. You walk in, and Mary Poppins is there. She says, "Oh, well, hello." And she starts pulling stuff out of her bag. And she's, a spoonful of sugar and all of that. And then you get to meet her.
Yeah.
She does a quick change into her Jolly Holiday outfit. That would be mind-blowing. And then you take a picture with her,
Yeah.
It would be such a cool experience. I appreciate what they did with the details on the Belle one. I hear it's quite elaborate.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In Belle's Enchanted Tale, or Belle's, what is the name of that one?
Enchanted Tales with Belle.
Yes. They bring the furniture to life.
Yeah. Okay. I thought we were talking about Epcot, so I thought you were talking about an Epcot Belle meet and greet. And I do think I've seen her there before in France.
In France, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought you were
But
talking
she
about
doesn't have a set or anything.
No.
She's just
I thought maybe she did and I didn't know. Because sometimes before Ratatouille was put in, she would be back, like, tucked away.
She was in that area where there's that gazebo.
Yeah.
On the side of France in the gardens.
Right.
Weird spot.
Yeah, weird. And you'd have to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Right.
Meanwhile, Alice is like literally directly in front of the UK. It's very, and Mary, they both meet in the same location.
Right.
Very obvious, but they really did hide that Belle back there.
Yeah.
They've got some weird meet and greet spots in Epcot.
They do.
You have
that Winnie the Pooh one, very weird.
Very weird.
Yeah, the Winnie the Pooh's way off the side of, like, if you're looking at the Journey into Imagination, the Imagination Pavilion.
He's in a field.
Yeah,
he's in a field.
Way in a direction that you wouldn't walk for any reason.
No, there's like bathrooms back there
that people don't even know,
that nobody knows about.
They're like abandoned.
Yeah, I didn't even want to talk about that. There's no bathrooms back there. Don't look. Use your imagination.
Yeah. How many do you have left?
One.
Okay. Before you do your one, let me just throw in that there's a whole bunch of Marvel options that I think that
One day.
I know there are restrictions, but there's not
Yes.
restrictions on anything. And one that I thought of are not restrictions on everything.
Yes.
It's the specific ones that Universal has that we're not allowed to put on this side of the United States.
The ones that are already in Islands of Adventure.
Right. But as far as I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there would be okay to do something Ant-Man. And I think because Ant-Man can shrink down, you've got the opportunity to also have a throwback to the Honey I Shrunk the Audience kind of playground kind of area.
That'd be
in
cool.
some way. Yeah.
A playground.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Or even a ride / play area. You know what I mean? Or even a ride that ends in a play area.
They should put that where that abandoned Pixar part of Hollywood Studios is. It would be cool if they turned that into a Marvel something.
You mean like where you can buy a Jack Jack cookie num num?
Yes, okay. Where they had the incredible celebration in there.
Those cookies are good.
I've never had one, are they?
Yeah, we should go get one.
Oh, I want to get one.
Anyway.
Yeah, that would be great.
And it would be a throwback for those of us that remember the Honey I Shrunk the Audience playground.
Big film roll and the battery.
Yes, yeah. They could have a ride, or like maybe what's it called?
Which one?
What's the kind of ride called? I don't know why my brain's not working right now. Where like Star Tours or whatever.
Oh, a simulator.
Yeah, thank you. Like a simulator type ride, or some interactive ride where you're Ant-Man, and then at the end they're like, oh no, you accidentally hit the shrink down button, and then when you leave into this play area that I wonder if they still have it somewhere. All that stuff.
I don't know, but that's a good idea. I actually love the idea of exiting into a play area. Do they do that anywhere?
No.
That would be.
I think
that's
especially
cool.
Like that one. If for any of you that do remember, or don't remember, it was like a big play area. So I'm sure if you are a person that didn't want to play in the giant grass and the oatmeal pie and all that stuff that was there, then you could just walk straight through. But if you did, you would just kind of go into it. You know what I mean?
It
was because it was a lot. It wasn't like a small playground.
Yeah, it was by the backlot stuff.
Yeah.
Back there. By the Backlot Express, by all that stuff.
I think that would be such a fun throwback and have to do with what we're
very relevant. Now. Very relevant. I think Marvel is it's surprising how little they've done. I mean, there must be something going on.
I'm glad I know it's complicated. But I'm glad that Guardians is what they chose to do here because it's my favorite and I love the music and I love the humor, and having those things be part of a thrill ride makes me so happy. So and that's why I also love Ant-Man. I think Thor would be a good choice once they get there because it's got the music.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, hey,
you have one more?
Oh, the one I have
one more too after your.
Oh wow, we're gonna go over.
Well, no, mine's quick.
Oh, mine's quick too. Okay. The other one I had would I think obviously everyone wants Haunted Mansion Holiday to come to this coast.
Oh yeah.
But if we don't do that, I think it would be really fun to do Santa Jack's sleigh ride.
Oh.
Where you you would have to start in Halloween Town. You fly over Halloween Town like a Peter Pan situation. Then you go through the forest and you fly over Christmas Town. You get shot out of the sky. You go back to Halloween Town.
I love this so much. I was trying to think of some way because like Winter Summerland, which is their mini golf course that is based on Christmas, they know people love the different holidays. I mean, not just Christmas, also Halloween, and having those be part of like an all year. You mean all year? Right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, thing that you could experience would make me happy.
Yeah, I would even love just a small, like Halloween Town or something area somewhere. You know, that seems.
Especially if you use Nightmare Before Christmas, you can do both.
Yeah. And the architecture is so striking in that style, that it's so instantly recognizable, and so many people go wild for that gothic kind of aesthetic.
Yeah.
That I feel like it would be the most photographed spot in the park, which is something that Disney cares deeply about.
Yeah.
photo spots,
Okay.
selfies. You know, they care.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
My last one is that it isn't really a full thought out concept, except for the fact that, and this is especially for my husband, who's a big fan, but I feel like a Powerline concert needs to be somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Show, ride, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what you think, if you've got some opinion on it. We used to think that Powerline would wind up being part of the fireworks show in Epcot, and then it wasn't. But I
Right.
actually think it would be better as either a show that you could go to,
Uh-huh.
or like part of the ending part of some ride, Goofy movie-esque ride.
I think it would work. I can't tell you exactly why, just aesthetically, I guess that is why. I think they should have a Powerline concert on the Tomorrowland Rocket Plaza
Yes,
stage.
aesthetically perfect. If that's
Right.
perfect.
Like it's the energy beams
Yes.
and like all of that just really makes sense. And maybe dress Powerline in a new Tomorrowland inspired costume.
Yeah,
And have
and his costume very much rolls with the whole Tomorrowland look too.
yes, it's very futuristic.
Yeah.
Or if the budget is there for a big ride,
Yeah.
that I think it would be really
That would be a
cool.
good spot.
They could do an augmented reality coaster,
Right.
where you put on your
You're going
Powerline
to-
glasses
yeah.
because he's got the signature glasses, and then
Oh,
you're going
yeah,
to a
yeah.
concert and it's practical, sets and stuff,
Mhm.
but also then your glasses generate images,
Oh.
in real time
Yeah.
to go. That's the technology that they're using for the Mario Kart ride
Oh wow.
that they're doing in Universal. It's the ride, the format of the ride is that it's some type of trackless dark thing that we've kind of seen before, but then there's also that augmented reality, so that there's items and stuff in the glasses.
This sounds so problematic to me.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, people, when you're recycling something on every person that goes through, it's like in Mission Space, when you were at the end of Mission Space, the like joystick thing in front of you that is supposed to control where you're going used to like move a bit.
Yeah.
So it felt like, oh, it's pulling against you. The car is pulling against you. And then now, however many years after Mission Space, they're all broken.
Right.
Every single one. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just wonder if that's something that they can keep from getting stolen. Because you're talking about expensive.
Yeah, I'm talking about a headset.
So not like a plastic thing. Yeah.
No, a little bit more in depth than that. And I
Yeah.
think that is definitely an inherent
and then
struggle.
Needing to wipe them down so that people don't get
Yeah.
pink eye or
Their
whatever.
VR coasters are a whole thing
Yeah.
right now, and those are crazy to me because you don't see the real world at all.
Yeah.
You only have the glasses on, and the ride
Oof.
is like synced up. And those do exist, and they are plentiful. And I could have ridden one, but I chose not to
Yeah.
because I don't think I would do well with it.
There's one in the theme park that's in Atlanta or something, right?
Six Flags.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the exact one I almost did.
That I did not almost do it, but I did see it, and Michael almost did it.
Yeah.
And my sister Cassidy, she almost would have done it too, but I think it shut down or something.
Yeah, they go through a lot of problems, so I see what you're saying, but
not me. I wasn't. And I do roller coasters, but that's not that
Too
specific one. Also has like a beyond 90-degree drop, right?
Oh, I think so.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
If it was a Disney, I'd probably get on it eventually.
Right. Because that's what they do.
And I trust Disney. And after a while, I would see it so much, I would just be like, okay.
Right. Yeah. But Powerline.
Powerline.
For sure. No brainer. Gotta have Powerline. People love the songs, the movie, everything.
Right.
They'd sell a ton of merch. They'd sell a ton of those glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right. Lots of ideas.
Oh, this was a fun one.
This was fun. This was a fun two-parter. We'll do more of this type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure you guys have thoughts on this as well. So
I'd love to hear them.
I would love to hear
I could talk about this more.
Me too. If you gave me a little time, I could come up with a whole new set of them.
We could keep going.
We really could. But if you've enjoyed this episode and you want more of us, you should absolutely subscribe. If you're on a podcast platform, then reviewing us would also be
That would help a lot.
amazing.
Yeah.
And we also have a YouTube channel where you can, if you're not already, watch the visual version of the show, which is Neverland Navigation Co. on YouTube.
And we have a lot of Disney review type things on that YouTube video or YouTube channel.
We're travel planning companions.
Yes.
Yes. And then we're also on socials. That's where we do some in-park content, also some Disney history stuff. On Instagram and TikTok, that's at Neverland Navco.
And then we've got an Etsy shop at Neverland Navigation.
Yes.
Where we do shirts, some dish towels, like we do custom stuff. Got some designs that are Disney inspired and fun.
All right.
So that's about it.
That's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, we will see you on our next adventure. Goodbye.
Bye.